Phase 1. The Rise of the Persian Threat. By the early 5th century BCE, the Persian Empire under King Darius I had become the largest empire in the world, stretching from modern-day Iran to parts of Europe. After their defeat at Marathon 490 BCE by the Athenians, the Persians sought revenge. Darius died before he could launch a second invasion, and the task fell to his son, Xerxes I. Xerxes amassed a colossal army and navy to conquer Greece once and for all. His goal was not just retaliation but total subjugation. As the Persian threat loomed, Greek city-states, usually rivals, faced the challenge of uniting against a common enemy. Athens, Sparta, and other smaller states began to prepare. The Spartans, known for their military discipline and warrior culture, agreed to take a leading role. However, due to a religious festival called the Carneia, Sparta could not mobilize its full army. In response, King Leonidas led a small force of 300 Spartan hoplites, all chosen because they had living sons to continue their bloodlines. Along with a few thousand allies, to delay the Persians at a narrow coastal pass called Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. Phase 2. The strategic importance of Thermopylae. Thermopylae, meaning Hot Gates, was a narrow mountain pass in central Greece, bordered on one side by steep cliffs and on the other by the sea. It was the perfect defensive choke point. No matter how large the Persian army was, only a limited number could pass through at once, neutralizing their numerical advantage. The Greek city-states held a council and agreed on a strategy: delay the Persian advance at Thermopylae, while the Athenian navy blocked the Persian fleet at Artemisium, a nearby strait. The combined land and sea defense could buy time for the rest of Greece to mobilize. King Leonidas took only 300 Spartans, but was joined by around 7,000 Greek allies, including Thespians, Thebans, and Phocians. The Spartans, renowned for their courage and discipline, would form the core of the resistance. Their hoplite formation, with overlapping shields and long spears, was nearly unbreakable in narrow terrain. The Greeks fortified the pass and awaited the coming storm. Meanwhile, the Persian army, possibly numbering in the hundreds of thousands, crossed into Greece via a massive bridge built over the Hellespont. As Xerxes marched south, confident in his power, he encountered something unexpected: defiance. Phase 3. The first encounter: defiance in the face of doom. As the vast Persian army approached Thermopylae, King Xerxes expected immediate Greek surrender. His scouts had reported a small, seemingly insignificant force blocking the pass. But what they saw puzzled them. Spartan warriors calmly exercising, combing their hair, and preparing as if for a festival, not war. Xerxes sent envoys to demand submission. In response, Leonidas famously replied, "Molon leve, molon labe," come and take them, when asked to lay down his weapons. Still hoping for a peaceful victory, Xerxes delayed his attack for 4 days, expecting the Greeks to retreat in fear. But the Spartans held their ground, bolstered by a sense of duty, honor, and their warrior code. On the 5th day, frustrated by their defiance, Xerxes ordered a full assault. Wave after wave of Persian infantry charged the Greek phalanx. The narrow pass worked perfectly in the Greeks' favor. The disciplined Spartans rotated fresh soldiers to the front line and used their long spears and heavy shields to devastating effect. Thousands of Persians fell, including Xerxes' elite soldiers, the Immortals, who were driven back in shame. The morale of the Greeks soared. The Spartans had proven that courage and tactics could defy overwhelming numbers, at least for now. Phase 4, the second day, relentless waves. On the second day, Xerxes renewed the attack with even greater fury. He believed the Greeks must be exhausted, but again, wave after wave of Persian soldiers crashed against the Greek phalanx and broke. Spartans and their allies fought in rotating shifts, using the same iron discipline and unbreakable formation. Bodies piled high in the narrow pass, blocking movement and creating chaos. Xerxes was furious. He could not believe that his massive army was being held back by so few. He sent in the Immortals again, but even they failed to gain ground. Meanwhile, the Greek navy fought a simultaneous battle at Artemisium, blocking the Persian fleet and preventing a coastal invasion. The strategy was working. Thermopylae had become a bottleneck, and the morale of the Greek soldiers soared as they witnessed the results of their unified resistance. For 2 full days, the Greeks stood firm, and the Persians achieved nothing. But Xerxes was not without options. That night, a local Greek named Ephialtes approached him with a secret, a hidden mountain trail around Thermopylae. For gold, Ephialtes would lead the Persians behind the Greek lines. With that betrayal, the fate of the Spartans was sealed. Phase 5, the betrayal and encirclement. Ephialtes' betrayal was devastating. He led a detachment of Persian troops, including the Immortals, along the Anopaia Path, a hidden mountain trail that bypassed the Greek defenses. The trail was lightly guarded by about 1,000 Phocians, who were caught off guard and quickly outflanked. Though they attempted to resist, the Persians marched past them and descended behind the Greek lines. Leonidas received word of this maneuver from scouts and knew the end was near. The Greeks were now surrounded. A council was held. Many of the Greek allies were ordered to retreat. Leonidas didn't want them to die needlessly. But the 300 Spartans, along with 700 Thespians and a few Thebans, chose to remain and fight to the death. They would form a final rear guard, sacrificing themselves to delay the Persians a little longer. Leonidas knew this act would become legend, but more importantly, it would inspire all of Greece to resist. As dawn approached, the remaining defenders prepared for their last stand. They prayed to their gods, sharpened their weapons, and steeled their hearts for the coming storm, knowing they would not return home.